Okay, this is the fun part. We're going to get into the meat of the presentation, and this part is about creating your offer. Okay, and so just remember, you have one thing, and that one thing is you've got internet, you've got access to a telephone, and then you have the one program. So you just got a taste of what that one program is. It should hopefully be used to bring you lots and lots of opportunity on the buying side and listing side. So now that we have this one program, we fully understand how it works. Now we're going to figure out how we use it. How do we get started? How do we get our first deal, right? So what you're going to see here is I kind of created an overall outline of what we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to do is to create an offer. Now, an offer is going to be something that gets people to move on something that you present them. And your offer is going to be yourself, right? You're going to be the offer, okay? And the people that you're going to be speaking to is other agents in your local markets or national. It doesn't matter, but you're going to be speaking to them, and you're going to be a solution to maybe a problem that they thought they have, or maybe they didn't think they have, or maybe they currently have. So a couple things about the offer, right? So initially you're going to use LinkedIn. There is some templates that you can use on how to search LinkedIn for other agents, commercial agents. There's also some templates on what to send when you're asking to connect, and once they respond, you want a phone call with those guys. So the invitation script and the thank you script are written in a way that's going to entice them to give you a call. Okay, so real quick, okay, day one, right? We're going to start working on this offer. What makes people want to work with you as the agent, right? Well, what is it? Everyone has something. Everyone has a story that they can tell, something that inspires people to work with you. So let's go down this. You're going to create an offer for listing agents, right? And what is the one big problem for listing agents, right? I would say one of the many problems is that sellers always want too much, right? If they want too much, then you're not going to move that asset, right? And so we're going to take advantage of this because everyone has that story where maybe they lost the listing or they couldn't sell the property because the seller wanted too much, right? And this is a story that you're going to convey when you speak to that listing agent, that you are a catalyst, a deal maker, right? You're a deal reviver. That's how I make all my money. I revive deals because of your relationships, right? And so if we look down here a little bit, where it says your offer, right? And I've given you three things that you can convey to this listing agent, potentially if they have any old deals that they want to revive. And one of the things is that you are a deal reviver, right? How do you become a deal reviver, right? The best way is having relationships with different lending institutions, different direct lenders, where there's a program now that makes sense for a buyer to move forward on that asset, even at a lower cap rate or higher sales price. So because of those relationships, you revive deals. And if you can convey this, right, in a way of not necessarily bragging, but a story, right? A story that made you decide to go out and get these type of relationships. I was tired of losing deals. The deals were too tight. And you can tell them a story, and when you tell that listing agent that story of why you went out and started getting these relationships, tell that story in the state that you were in, right? Because if you do that, what will happen is then all of a sudden they will have an epiphany and be like, oh, that makes sense. I understand why you went out and got all these great relationships with these lenders, because maybe you lost that deal, maybe it was too tight. Okay, I'm co-signing that part of your offer. I like that. Maybe also you have the best relationship with lenders, right? You really go up and beyond, not only for clients, but your lenders, to make sure that you can get deals through that maybe somebody else couldn't, okay? This can be part of your offer of selling that. Tell them a story, right? Tell them a story. What made you decide that was the best route for your career, right? And then you'll see they'll reach that epiphany. And then finally, you look for higher leverage loans. This is a must, right? So on purchases, this program goes up to 85%. So what that means is that your buyers need less money, right? So if it's less money needed and lower interest rates and lower payments because of the amortization schedule, now all of a sudden maybe you can revive a deal. Maybe the profit, the net operating income does work, right? So you look for these programs specifically. Now, if you're bringing this to the table to a listing agent, now all of a sudden he can go out and revive an old deal where a buyer or seller wanted too much, okay? And then through that, maybe you guys can co-broker that deal. Maybe you negotiate that deal with them where you're getting a piece of that by reviving that. Maybe you guys can do a presentation together. Okay, and so I've given you 3 of your offer, okay? Deal reviver, you have the best relationships with lenders, you get the highest leverage loans, right? So that gives you access to more agents with buyers. Be careful of saying that gives you access to buyers, because then that listing agent might be wary with working with you. He might be thinking you're trying to get the buying side and the selling side, which ultimately we want, and we're going to try to get anyway. But practice makes perfect with these. So all you're going to be doing is reaching out to agents via LinkedIn, okay? Make sure you download the template so that you can see how to do that, where to do that, how to search, advanced search, everything, templates, and so on. Okay, so just remember, any part of your offer that you create, if you create a story behind that, right, and you give that listing agent that epiphany on why that makes sense and why you came to that, you'll see that you'll get more of those co-brokering opportunities. All right, and so and the one thing here is if you revive a deal, now it's all about getting the buyer for that transaction, okay? And so you're gonna be reaching out to agents and talking to them about their buyers, where maybe the buyer didn't have enough money, and you're also going to say, this is what I bring to the table, okay? Deal reviver, I find the best programs. You have the best relationships with lenders. You get the highest leverage loans, right? All of a sudden, maybe that buyer doesn't need as much money. So that offer, not only does it work for listing agents, but it can also work for buyer's agents. You just have to be sure that you position yourself where you're not cut out and you're getting part of that deal. So you can get part of the listing side and the buying side, right? You're the deal maker. You're the catalyst that actually revived and gets the deal done. And you're gonna see, being an agent or the real estate is a small community, right? Everyone talks about everyone. It's like, you know, it's, but it can be a bad thing if something goes wrong, but it can be an awesome thing when you're pulling deals like this together, when you take advantage of this program. So hopefully that helps you go out there, approach other agents. I'm not saying buyers, I'm not saying sellers, I'm saying other agents, and talk to them about reviving deals and bringing you on to help close that deal. All right?